Good evening. Welcome to Tea Time with Amara. I'm not fighting with my gadget. I'm fine. How are you? How has the day been? All right. So I promised that today we're going to start looking at this book, Think and Grow Rich. Have you got yours? If you haven't got yours, I want you to set a goal to get this book immediately. Every successful person on earth who did not read this book for years, for decades. People have read this book and it has impacted them. I have read it a few times in the past, but I've decided to start reading it again. As I start reading it again and to also come here, 6 p.m. every day. I think I can do it 6 p.m. with Amara, and I will discuss this book. Try and get my gadgets to just stay fine. I think we're fine. All right, so we'll take the first part of chapter 1. It's quite hot where I am. We'll take the first part of chapter 1, and the title of chapter 1 is Thoughts Are Things, and powerful things at that. Do you want to pause to think about that? Thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. Thoughts are very powerful. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I'm sure you've heard that. Hello, hi. Tea Time with Amara, 6 p.m. And we're discussing this book today, chapter 1, Think and Grow Rich. Please, if you've read it before, pull it out. Let's look at it again. Bob Proctor, one of the foremost self-help coach, mentors who just passed about 2 weeks ago or so. About 2 weeks ago, he died 5th of February. He said he has read this book every year of his life for the past 56 years, and it has so changed him. He died empty. He lived full and died empty. He impacted, he touched many people. There's hardly any entrepreneur that does not know Bob Proctor. If you listen to Bob Proctor, your life will change. And so I decided to go pick up this book and read again, and I want to be sharing with you on Tea Time with Amara, 6 p.m. every day. So check out this page, check me out. I'm on Instagram, follow me, check out this page, 6 p.m. every day, and we will talk about this book. Today we want to talk about chapter 1, and the title is Thoughts Are Things and Powerful Things at that. We could talk about just this phrase for the whole month. The power of thoughts, the power of the mind, the power of your thinking. If you can have control over your thoughts, you've won. You have won. Many people believe that their problem is external. Somebody is doing, but honestly, the enemy within, if you can take care of the enemy within, the enemy without can do you nothing. And it is your responsibility, it's our responsibility to take charge of our mind. The thoughts come, or what you think of, what you decide to think of, the thoughts you decide to dwell in is actually what matters, what will now eventually manifest and control your life. And the first story they told us on that chapter 1, on thoughts are things and powerful things are at that, is the story of a man named Barnes. And he desired to partner with Thomas Edison. At the time he had this desire, he had no money, he had no connection. He didn't know Thomas Edison. He didn't have enough money to travel, to transport himself to where Thomas Edison is. But that did not deter him. And as we discuss this Think and Grow Rich, I want us to take it personal. Are there things you like to do, you want to achieve, that you are shying away from because you don't have money? Don't do that. Practicing the principles of success, of wealth creation, and principles of how to become successful. People who eventually became successful or created wealth, many of them didn't have money at their disposal, but money did not serve as a means of hindrance. No. That's why I tell myself I love the world of dreaming. I love the world of goal setting. I love it a lot. Hello, Ifoma. Nice to have you. I love the world of goal setting, the world of goal setting, setting the goals of your life. There are no limitations. So that's why, as 2022 is still fresh, beginning of every year, beginning of every month, beginning of every week, even the beginning of every day, you are encouraged to set your goal. And sometimes one may say it's just talk, but honestly, those things are transformative. They transform people's life by setting your goal. As a man thinketh in his heart, from that thought you transmit it to words and write it down and stick to it. If those thoughts are strong enough, there's nothing that is, there's no hindrance that is strong enough, that is stronger than a man's thoughts. Definite thoughts, strong desires. Thoughts will change to is what will change to desire. But first of all is thoughts. So Barnes had a thought that he would like to partner with Thomas Edison. He didn't have the money, he didn't have the connection, he didn't know about Thomas Edison, he didn't have the means, but he stayed onto it and he found a way to travel to where Thomas Edison was. There was no opening. I mean, Thomas Edison was like up here. He was nowhere. But he held on to that thought. He held on to that thought. And the powerful thing about thoughts is that if you hold on to them long enough, a way will create. All right? You'll find a way. All right? So, those thoughts were not just ordinary thoughts, like the thought that occurred to him and like a passing thought. No, it's something he dwelt on. He dwelt on that thought. In the course of discussing this book, I want to invite you to join me 6 p.m. every day. In the course of discussing this book, I want to encourage you to also get this book, all right? So if you're just watching, try and get this book, Think and Grow, which is a very good gift to yourself. It's a gift for yourself. And as the children grow, pass it on to them. Teach them to read such books. These are principles of life. And the guy that wrote it said, Napoleon Hill said, he wishes they would teach this book in schools that will cut down the time people spend in school and also cut short the time people spend in becoming wealthy and successful in life. Because becoming wealthy, creating success, there are principles of becoming successful in anything you're doing. And from this book, it starts from our thoughts. The example we're looking at, the story example, real life story example we're looking at is Barnes thinking of partnering with Thomas Edison. No money, no connection, no means, but he held on to it and decided that he was going to do it. Okay? And you know what happened? When he got there was no opportunity. It didn't look like it. Yes. But once you have that thought, the opportunity can come in disguise, as we see in his story. Slight disguise of opportunity. What he wanted was partnership. What he wanted was partnership. But the first opportunity came for him to be a salesman. Thomas Edison had a machine that nobody in his sales team was willing to market. Good. And he saw it as a good opportunity because his goal, his aim was to be in partnership with Edison. Sometimes that which you need, that which you desire, that which you hope for, you might need to go through some paths before you get there. Be willing to do anything that you have to do. All right? Anything good that you have to do. In order, thank you for sharing the video. Thanks for sharing. In order to achieve your goal, do you understand? It may come in different disguise, but willing to do anything that you have to do in order to get there. Not anything bad, anything that you have to do. Humble yourself, whatever. So he wanted to partner with Edison, but what came first was to be a salesman of a machine. Other salesmen were not willing to do it. He stepped up. That was his opportunity. He grabbed it and went to Edison and said, I will sell the machine. And Edison looked at him and said, really? Okay. And he sold that machine. From this book, we learn that he sold that machine and he made himself very rich from that machine. Where did this success start from? Thoughts. I heard from Bob Proctor. He said, anything you don't want, don't think about it. Woo! Anything you don't want, don't think about it. Can that be your pattern gift for this video? If you don't want anything, don't think about it. I remember thinking of someone who had predicted that in this country there's going to be war. There's going to be war. And they would analyze. And I asked the person, I said, if maybe you are very right, but if there is war, what does it benefit you? He couldn't answer. Do you want war? No. So why think about it? Why talk about it? Do you understand? So as you start the week, all right, maybe there are things facing you, negative things that is facing you that's obvious that may happen. That may happen. Do you want it to happen? Do you want it to go that way? Then don't give it power. When you think about it, you empower it. What do you want to happen in your life? That's what I want you to think about in your business. You want to start a business. You want your business to grow. You have your desires about your spouse, about your children, about your life. You want to buy that car. You want to buy that house. Dwell on those thoughts. You give them power. And just like it happened to Barnes, that eventually partnered with Edison because the opportunity shows up. Thoughts are very powerful. Thoughts are powerful. That's the title of this particular segment. Thoughts are things, and powerful things are that. Thoughts are things. So no matter how things turn out, no matter how you are offended or tempted to go the other way, to start thinking of things you don't want, discipline yourself to keep your mind on thinking the things that matters to you that you want. And you will see that the things that has happened to different ones we're going to be talking about in this book will manifest in your lives. See you 6 p.m. tomorrow. Tea Time with Amara. We're going to be looking about a man. The story is titled 3 Feet from Gold. 3 Feet from Gold. Very, very interesting story. If you hear that story, if you read about that story, you will never forget it. It will teach you how to persevere. If the going is rough, persevere. That's the lesson of tomorrow's story. So don't miss tomorrow. Tea Time with Amara. So thank you for being here.